All right, what's up, guys? This is Marc Augustine, and I have Jay, the Dropship King, on my channel. And the purpose of this video is we were recording a previous video, and we went down this line of dropshipping being one of the easiest things that Jay has ever done. And I figured we'll just make it. It's better to make it a separate video because so like the video, subscribe, and if you have any comments for any of us, let us know in the comment section and check out the I'll put a link to the channel in the description. So Jay, kind of start where did we leave off? You were saying I had asked you about, so first introduce yourself really quickly. This is another video.
Yeah, hi, my name's Jay. For you guys who don't know, my channel is DropshipKing. I help people learn how to automate dropshipping from Amazon and eBay.
Okay, and we were doing I'll put a link to the previous video. We made a video. I just interviewed him for the first time on my channel, and I'd asked you if you've taught any of your friends how to do this. And then you were saying like it was one of the drop shipping is one of the easiest things you've ever done. Explain that.
Yeah, drop shipping is the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. That is a fact.
And you're comparing that to what? So what have you done so far? And then what that was harder than drop shipping?
Yes, so I think my background is a little bit different than most people who are dropshipping, the average dropshipper. So I went to NYU, I studied finance, I graduated.
How well did you do? Did you have a decent GPA, a really good GPA?
It was okay. It was like a 3.4. I mean, I wasn't like, the smartest person, obviously, right. But I wasn't the dumbest either.
Okay.
But it was definitely challenging for me. I'm not gonna lie. College kicked my ass. NYU kicked my ass.
Yeah, but a 3.4 isn't nothing to shy about. I mean, that's and at NYU studying finance, that must have been challenging.
Yeah, that was one of the hardest things I ever did in my life. so I mean, if you compare it to, yeah, it's I've had a lot of really challenging experiences in my life. I've done a lot of really challenging things, and I enjoy being challenged, right? So I graduated from school, and my first job out of school was internal finance and JP Morgan.
Okay.
And so I did that for a year, and then I went on to some other finance firms, and then I ended up at Deutsche Bank doing investment banking for about 4 years.
Okay.
And so that was my last real job before I started dropshipping.
Okay, so one by one, if you had to compare the difficulty getting a degree in finance from NYU to learning to dropship and selling $900,000 in a year, how much was it? Much easier, a little bit easier?
So if I were to rate it, so probably going to school studying finance, was like a 10.
Yeah.
Dropshipping was like a 1.
Okay. Now, How do you compare work? What was your first job? Internal finance at JP Morgan compared to dropshipping.
That was probably like a 3. That wasn't that hard.
So that's a 3 in dropshipping. It's still a 1.
Yeah. Because that was more of a back office job.
Okay, and how much did you get paid for that back office job?
It wasn't much. I think my salary was $53,000 plus bonus
for the year.
Yeah.
And your first year dropshipping, you made more than $50,000 or no?
I made about $170,000. Yeah.
I knew that, but okay.
Yeah.
And then the last job, your investment banking job, how is that compared to? How does it in difficulty?
Yeah, banking was tough, but I don't think it wasn't that it was very intellectually stimulating or challenging. It was just that there was a lot of work. I was working a lot, 60, 70, 80 hours a week. It was just a lot of work, a lot of stuff to keep up with, a lot of companies to cover. Like, you're always on top of the news. You're always on top of the market. You're responsible for all these different deals and companies that you have to constantly, monitor. So it was just a lot of work. Very basically, the best way to describe investment banking is exhausting.
Right. And that in 1 to 10, would you consider investment banking just as hard as as NYU? Was it less?
Oh no, I thought school was hard. School for me is always going to be harder than work, because there's something about like taking tests that just really stressed me out. You know, like I get really stressed out when I have to take tests.
Okay.
Because like work is not as stressful for me because you get to take your time to do the work to finish the work, right? Whereas for a test, you have 1 hour, go, that's it, right? Work, you can constantly revise. Okay, it's like usually how it works is you send something to your boss or manager, right? And they send it back to you with all these red marks of things that you need to correct and revise, and then you just do it, right? And you have access to your computer, you have access to all these resources that you can look to for help and advice. And so work for me will never be as hard and challenging as school.
Okay. And why? Okay. So what makes drop shipping so easy? Let's get to that.
Yeah. Again, I think it's because of my background. We talked about this in, I think, the previous interview I did with you, but it's about discipline, right? It's about discipline and work ethic. And I think I've had many opportunities in my life to develop that. And I think a lot of people who start dropshipping, they don't really come from the same background as me. They don't have the same opportunities that I've had. So for them, it may be really tough. And I don't want to discredit them, but for me, dropshipping was so easy because of the experiences I've gained already in my previous work and school.
Okay. And what does it take to make dropshipping easy? You wake up every day and you do the work, no?
Okay, so.
Or is it that you think that some of your background makes you more organized? And
I think the number one thing that people need to do if they want to be successful at dropshipping is to learn, like actually learn about dropshipping. Like don't rush into it without knowing anything about how any of this works, right? So study dropshipping, learn what is dropshipping. It's funny, like a lot of people who do dropshipping don't really even understand what is dropshipping, right? So it's like, if you don't even understand what you're doing, how can you be good at it, right? So my advice is just to read as much as you can, learn as much as you can about dropshipping and about the software that you're using, about the industry, about the marketplaces that you're dropshipping on and from, right? It's all about learning and absorbing knowledge. So as I mentioned before, I didn't even touch dropshipping until 2020, right? I didn't even know about dropshipping until 2020, but I spent a whole week just learning about dropshipping before I even got started.
And you didn't open an account or anything?
No, I just read, I just learned, I absorbed knowledge. Yeah.
You didn't buy any courses?
No, I've never paid for a course in my life. Okay.
So you've learned everything online, you've read blogs. And what do you think would help people where there's unlimited information out there, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Where did you start and stop in learning?
Yeah, so I think that's up to you, right? It depends on your level of aptitude about the subject. If you believe that you're comfortable with the subject and you've gotten to a point where you think you know what you're doing now, by all means get started, right? Because oftentimes people learn on the job. You start learning as you start doing it. So once you get to that point where you feel like you're comfortable starting it, go ahead and do it, because there's going to be way more to learn once you start doing it, right? So I learned most of what I know now from actually doing it, right?
Right. Okay. And did you have any fear of losing money putting in? Did you have any fear that you wouldn't be able to do it? How do you get, so you learn, and then what? Did you choose, okay, I want to spend $500 or $1,000, and if it doesn't work, how did you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the beauty of dropshipping, right? It's because you don't have to spend any money to get started with dropshipping. That's actually the reason why I chose to do dropshipping. Because,
and why you did eBay in particular, because
I mean, it's an extremely low risk business. Like, you're not actually putting in any money, right? The whole concept of dropshipping is you don't pay for the item until you get paid by the buyer, right? And so this is an incredible business model. Like, I'm surprised that more people haven't picked up on it, because there's actually no risk. And this is like the only zero risk business in the world.
Yeah, because you're not even running ads.
Exactly. There's no ads. You're not spending any money. And if you pay for the software, you get like a month or like a 2 week free trial, right? So
Right,
you can get a free trial for like the first month, and you really don't have to spend any money for like a month.
right, exactly. But yeah, so hopefully other people, because I remember posting videos about Facebook drop shipping, and like because I've been doing it so long, I speak about it like it's easy, like you just wake up and do it, right? And I
Yeah.
remember a lawyer friend of mine commenting, she's like, I studied so hard, it can't be that easy to make $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why people don't do it, because they're like, there's no way.
They're skeptical, right?
Yeah, because there are people who
Yeah.
would try it. There are a lot of people who try it don't have any money, and they are the end. So they end up trying to find this thing where they don't need to invest any money. But then there are a lot of people who are working at like 10 hours a day that, if executed on something like that, could make money in their spare time. And I think those are the people that that need to try this a lot more, because it is really that easy. Like the processes are there, a lot of software there. When I started, there wasn't any software. I think we built the first one
When did you start?
like 2011, 2012.
Oh, that's really early. You're like an OG.
I had Paul on my channel. So I had a lot of these guys, Ecom Tom and stuff, they've been to my house in Nicaragua.
They visited you in Nicaragua?
Ecom Tom,
What?
Ecom Tom lives in Nicaragua now. He bought a house in
Are you
Nicaragua.
serious?
I'm dead serious.
What? That's crazy. Wait, why?
That's why when we were talking on the previous call, I was talking about these guys like you're supposed to know who they are.
Yeah.
But a lot of these guys has been to my house. Like,
Wow. But wait, why did he move to Nicaragua?
So I used to have this thing called Grind Camp and then Dropship House. So I've had people to Nicaragua like maybe 4 or 5 times. So he had came here one time for Grind Camp, and then he had hired like the girl who does his Instagram is like used to work for me. So he met, because Nicaragua is close to the US and the cost of labor is cheap. So like houses and stuff are cheap. So he ended up moving down. Like the tax stuff works. I wouldn't go into detail about that. And then you could buy a house on the beach for like $60,000, $70,000 or even $100,000 cash, you know? So a lot of those guys, a lot of those YouTubers has been here.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, to Dropship Talent, I was talking about him coming back because he was down here. I have 1,800. I've been doing this for way too long. Like I
can tell. Yeah, you're a veteran.
I'm so tired. But yeah, so when I got into it, there was any software. And now when you said it talked about it being easy, I made a video this past week. And you guys will know I made it before this one, because I'll be wearing the same t-shirt in all the videos, saying that like now is one of the easiest times to make money online, because there's so many aids and but you have to try. And I think that's the weird thing. I think a lot of the marketers like, like do it, right? But a lot of people like, it can't. I'm working too hard for this shit to be that easy.
But at the same time, the market is getting more saturated.
Right.
You know, because it's so easy, more and more people are getting into it, right? Because they see how accessible all of it is, right? That everything is automated by software. They don't even need to hire VAs to do this.
Right.
Like some of my friends who I taught how to do this, you know, they're not making as much money as me, but they're only spending like a few minutes a day on this stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like, why wouldn't anyone want to spend like a few minutes a day and make $1,000 a month?
So hopefully you guys, if you want any more details on it being easy, or if you think we're full of it and it's not easy, or if you've tried and it hasn't worked, comment on the video and let us know what you think. I like to have the conversation between the people I have on my channel and the community. So, okay, so when do you plan to, I just have one other question. Have you planned to, have you tried Etsy and some of these other obscure marketplaces, and how do you decide what marketplaces to try?
No, I haven't tried Etsy or any of these niche marketplaces. I've only done eBay dropshipping and Facebook marketplace dropshipping. That's it. And then I mentioned this earlier, but yeah, I'm planning to do Amazon wholesale FBA.
Okay, and you plan to stay in e-commerce. So you plan to e-commerce will always be a part of your business life.
Yeah, well, that's the plan, right? The plan is to try to do e-commerce as long as I can. And my goal is to funnel the cash flow that I'm making from e-commerce into investments. So that could be
Okay.
the stock market, it could be real estate, or it could be venture capital, right? So I'm currently doing all three.
Okay, nice. Congratulations. So yeah, dude, thanks for being on the channel again. Anytime you want to have these type of conversations, hopefully the guys watching this will appreciate it. And if you have any questions for us, let's leave on the comment section. Check out Jay's channel, and because there are a lot of people making this dropshipping dead video for like years, like 2 years of those videos. So hopefully this would inspire the guys watching this to try and know that you could actually make money working at home. And you don't have to make $100,000 a year like Jay here, but.
And you also don't need to pay for a course. You just watch my videos for free.
Yeah, exactly. So go watch all of his videos, and I'll have you, Jay, I'll have you on the channel again. Thanks for your time, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.